Amaury, bonjour.
Hi.
Thank you so much.
En français, en anglais?
English.
English, all right.
Thank you so much for coming in my podcast today. I'm very happy to have you here as a French expat as well. So this is going to be really good. You are going to listen or watch two French people speaking English. I hope you are going to enjoy this episode and it will make you feel like you are in Paris. Amaury, let me introduce you briefly. You arrived in Australia in 2010 and you quickly founded Morning Bondi. Morning Bondi is like your photo diary when you walk in the morning in Bondi and you capture the ocean, the sunrise, the local characters, everything that goes through your lens, you will capture it, and it made absolutely sensational photos. You have a huge community on Instagram and you as well sell your photos worldwide. I heard that some of your photos got projected in the Opera House, which is incredible. But on top of that, you recently founded Bread Agency. It's a marketing agency specialized in social media and social commerce. And I love the name. Bread Agency is so good for a French funded marketing business. So you're definitely a serial entrepreneur. And I can't wait to listen to your story and your journey today. So thank you.
Great, thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you. Can we start with the beginning?
Yeah.
You came here in 2010. My question is, why did you come to Australia?
Yeah, it's a great question. 2009 actually, but almost. But yeah, so to arrive in 2009. Before that, I did a bachelor degree in Paris. Then I did a master degree here at Macquarie University. And I can't remember now, it was probably 2016, I would say, when I finished at the Macquarie Uni, and I flew back to France to start a TV production business back in Paris.
Okay.
So that was my first kind of entrepreneurial journey, if you like. So I did this for 2.5, 3 years. And then production was great, but like I was missing kind of the strategy and the creative side. So yeah, and my business partners were not as keen as I was to have another advertising agency on top. So we were very much production. Being honest, I was missing a lot Australia, and I met my fiance back then, wife now, and I kept on telling her how good was Sydney, and she just prompted me with, what about going to Sydney then? And that's what happened. So yeah, I landed back here in 2009, yeah.
Did you have any plan when you arrived here?
Yeah, the plan was as simple as like, okay, let's try to find a visa. Let's try to stay here. So my wife was, fiance back then, was really looking for day-to-day work to basically pay the bills. And I was just like very much on that journey of, okay, I need to find a decent work so I could get sponsored and so we could stay here a bit longer. Now, like 15 years later, I was not expecting this to be for that long, but I love it.
I think it's pretty much the story of all the French residents now. We never expect to stay that long and we're still here.
Exactly.
So how did Morning Bondi come? I believe it came from you walking or exercising in Bondi every morning and started to take some amazing shots and you're like, oh, why not do something?
That's pretty much this. Yeah. So I was drunk on a balcony with a few friends, Australian friends, and then one of them said, we should train for Tough Mudder, like the obstacle course. And I was like, yeah, sure. And it was like a Saturday night, and then Monday morning, alarm clock rang at 5 to train for it. And that was obviously a stupid idea on the Monday morning. And then, anyway, we started to be quite religiously training every morning, and I was witnessing like kind of the sunrise. Again, I guess forcing myself to kind of fit that like a lifestyle of waking up early and training and doing things, and obviously with the goal to enter Tough Mudder. And I started to witness those sunrises, and I was like, wow, this is incredible, and started taking photos with my phone, iPhone 3G, so like a long time ago. Pretty shit photography, to be honest. And then, over time got hooked. I was posting this on my Facebook album within my Facebook, within my personal profile. And I called it like Morning Bondi, as simple as that. And then over time, after a while, I was like, I work in social media, or I started social media, I guess. And I was like, what about starting a Facebook page called Morning Bondi? So that's how it all came about. And it grew organically, to be honest. It went from like phone to compact cameras. Obviously now I shoot with full-on SLRs, and so it's good, I all self-taught as well. So
the photo are sensational. So I was looking at the website today and I'm like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. So it's amazing. I think we are very lucky as well. Bondi is such a fantastic place to capture so important and beautiful moments.
Yeah, I know. I don't think I would have been like kind of the same passion in other places in Australia. But I have to say, Bondi is such a nice background in terms of like playground, sorry, I should say. Playground where you've got like obviously beautiful sunrise, but you also have a lot of people, which is not the case along every single beach here in the eastern suburbs. Some are way more quiet than others, and I think Bondi is just perfect for that, especially what I like capturing is mainly people, to be honest. I like the sunrise, of course, but I like capturing people enjoying themselves. And I feel like Bondi is a perfect playground for that.
How did you feel when you arrived from France and you realized that everyone was out and about at 6 in the morning? This is something that doesn't happen in our country.
Yeah,
So
I have a very different lifestyle. To be honest, in France, I would have probably never, ever woken up at 6 or even 5. Now I wake up most days at 5:30. In France, I was probably going to bed at that time. No, I'm joking, but like almost. I just, again, what I like about Australia and what I like about Bondi as well is like you wake up with the sun, and now it's becoming almost like a drug. I need to see the sunrise. If not, I'm a bit, I don't know, like a bit disappointed or a bit like kind of, I just not feel like myself when I don't watch the sunrise every morning. But yeah, I love the passion, a very nice buzz in the morning that you don't necessarily have throughout the day, I don't think.
I agree. I exercise every morning. I wake up at 5:30 as well. I could have never done that before, like in France. I don't think we have this culture yet. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe not in some places in France. But I know recently I heard that like this English influencer came here. I don't know if you heard about it. And she came here and she was in Bondi and she got up at 6 and she said, Australia is another world. Half of the town is at the beach training, surfing, running. Like what is happening?
I saw this actually. There was like in the Daily Telegraph or
Yes,
something. Yeah,
yeah.
I saw that. Yeah.
was quite funny. But Bondi is a sensational place. So it's doing well. You got your photo projected in the Opera House for Vivid Festival, and you've been working with a lot of influential brands, Nike, Google, Adidas. How did this land?
Great question. I think it's all been very organic as well. So I went from phones and compacts, and then I started taking photos. Like kind of my father-in-law actually offered me a DSLR when we decided to move to Australia, and he offered us this as a living present from France. And I started to take photos with this. I was with a Canon. And then over time, brands started to notice, first of all, like Tourism Australia, Sydney City started to share my photos. So like obviously more people were following Morning Bondi, especially on Instagram. Facebook is still there, but I think it was mainly Instagram that kind of helped a lot. And then from that point onwards, the typical thing where you've got brands reaching out to you. I guess the best ones were Google. So they reached out to me when they were launching the Pixel One, the Google Pixel One. And so I had so they lent me a phone for a weekend first and said, can you please take photos with the phone? I was like, yeah, of course, I do it, yeah, for sure. And so I did, which were then used for the launch of the Google Pixel here in Australia. And then over time, so I worked with them for then 5 years after that. So I got from Google Pixel 1 to 2, 3, 4, 5. From a camera point of view, same thing. I literally met someone that was already sponsored by Olympus, called OMD now, System OMD. And so I got invited, chatted to kind of an amazing guy at OMD / Olympus. He's like, do you want to take one of our cameras with a few lenses for a test run? I did. And then he was like, yeah, hold on to it. If you like it, keep going, keep shooting. And that's exactly what happened. And now it's been like, I don't know, like probably 9 years I've been using OMD system. And he has been so good, giving me a lot of gear. So I've got like amazing equipment to take great photos. Okay photos. We have to talk about this.
So if I don't understand well, basically you kept working, you kept doing what you liked, you didn't give up, you kept pushing, and eventually you got recognized for what you were doing.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And again, like Morning Bondi is a hobby. So I never really wanted to professionalize this more than this. And it's still a hobby. I wouldn't want to be doing this full time. I really like what I do on the other side, like my day-to-day job. But I love photography. I like photography. I love Bondi. So I think it's one of those where I'm like, and then it kept me going. But what I love the most is like beyond just the photography, is just meeting all those people. I met so many people over the years, and that's what I like the most. Out of everything, if you're asking me what Morning Bondi has been providing you for all those years, A lot of hard work. It is a lot of hard work, to be honest. It's like wake up early. And I would say hard work again. It's a pleasure, but it's a commitment, I would say. Not hard work, but commitment. And it's mainly meeting all those people and having opportunities like kind of the Google and the OMD. Obviously, it's helping a lot because it's like, oh, great, cool. Some of those opportunities I would have never had if I was just not doing this.
So talking about your day-to-day job,
Yeah.
you recently founded a marketing agency called Bread Agency, and you specialized in social media and social commerce. Can you tell us more about social commerce, what it is exactly, and if it's redefining the marketing and digital landscape?
Yeah, it is definitely redefining the way we think about like social media. I've been doing social media for the past 14 years, almost as long as I've been here in Australia. And obviously started the first Facebook pages out of a lot of brands. And over time, constantly worked on Facebook, Insta, TikTok, Snapchat, LinkedIn, all the social channels. Exactly, every single one of them. And then social commerce is basically, going back to your point, social commerce is very much when you utilize the power of social for brands to sell, I guess, to convert, to make sure that people end up like doing what you want them to do. And what I said is like, yes, of course, social media is encompassing of social commerce as well. But then social commerce is almost like that. It's going beyond just the vanity metrics of the number of likes, engagements, or number of views. Is really how do you utilize that power of social to ultimately impact the bottom line of those businesses. And within this, there's so many different formats, different things that you need to do. Sometimes it's just a tracking way of doing things. But one of the things that I'm very excited about, which we started launching and we started working with brands, is like a live stream shopping. So live stream shopping is when you utilize the typical live stream, like you utilize live, but then you've got the shopping feed directly embedded into the videos. So you can then click the videos, then become clickable. So it's like shoppable videos, if you like, but it's all live. Technically, it's like looking like exactly what you've got here, like 3 different setups, 3 different cameras, or 2 different cameras. Then you do live edits, and then you've got the product feed. So when someone is talking about a specific product, you've got the shopping, and then you've got the shoppable videos that comes directly in screen, and then people can buy. It's the typical things that like the old school teleshopping, like TVSN network, but now embedded into social. Exactly, you don't need to call now. You can just do this, and then there's the community management aspect of it. So people can ask questions. You've got the hosts that will then receive those questions and answer them live. So this is social commerce in a way. What you can see in TikTok Shop in the UK or US, and what's about to hopefully come at some stage here in Australia as well.
Okay, so you are very busy. You founded 2 years ago, a year or 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, and you already have a big team, right? You grew very quickly.
Yeah. So I launched the business with my business partner, Mary, who is Canadian, not French Canadian.
Okay. I was wondering if she was French.
No, she's not. I think she can understand a bit of French.
Okay.
Sometimes she likes playing the French, but she doesn't know. I mean, hopefully not, because I've said so many wrong things about her. No, I'm joking. I love Mary. But anyway, so we launched the business because we used to work together at Havas, which is a big network agency. We used to work together, and then we decided to launch Bread together. And yes, it's been 2.5 years, and it's growing very quickly, almost too quickly. It's been 2.5 years. We are now a team of 12 people, with 3 more on the go. If you are looking for a job, I'm joking. Like, we are looking for so many people to join the team because, we keep on having brands reaching out to us and willing to work with us, which is great. And our biggest clients are Carnival Cruises. We've got Sombrero, inspired by Mexican food. We've got Connect Hearing and a few others, heaps more. But
How did this come as well? Do you believe it's because you were really known in the industry as well, both of you? Do you think this helped, or just because you landed good customer and then you provided good services?
I would say like a bit of the reputation. So when we launched the business 2.5 years ago, Mary and I put with the help of our PR manager, we basically put some press release up, and it went quite broadly across the entire marketing press. And then, so people started ex-clients, ex-colleagues, people that we knew from our network, from LinkedIn, started reaching out when they saw this. And it went literally a bit like this, very organically. The first week, I think we received 7 calls from 7 different brands, ex-clients saying, hey, we want to work with you. And then from that point onwards, then yes, I think we are doing pretty good work. So therefore, people keep on recommending us to other people. But we don't do anything, we don't do cold calling, we don't do any of this. At some stage we might have to, but right now it's been so organic that we are okay, you want to work with us, great, let's work, let's chat. I think one thing I would say, and not to do any hard sell, is like the way we approach social or the way we do things is just the way we work with clients. It just needs to be very kind of like a partnership. Yes, of course, the clients will pay our bills, clients will help us grow the business, but at the same time, we want to be on the same playing field, or we want to work with them so closely that, yes, we will be an extension of their team, as a lot of agencies would say, but it's more like, yeah, we just kind of, no bullshit, like we are here to help them get to the best outcome from a social point of view, and we'll do everything that it takes to get the right outcomes, because it will work for them and it will work for us, win-win situation. So I think that's the other thing as well. Yes, we are a marketing agency, so not necessarily always good rep, but we are here to help and support. And yes, sometimes we say the hard truths to those clients. It's not necessarily always great to hear for them, but at the same time, it's like, hey, we're here, we are the same. We want the same outcome, is to do great work. I think that's what I've seen based on some of my previous experience, and nothing bad about any other agencies I've worked with, but I think that's how we want, I guess, our, how can I say? Yeah, that's who we are and what we do. Yeah, it's just normal human beings doing good work, that's all. Simple.
So what did you learn in that field that you feel like people should know?
First of all, the industry is so small, so
don't fuck it up.
Don't fuck it up, exactly. I was going to say this. Usually I say, excuse my French, but you're French as well. But yeah, I would say don't fuck it up, because like honestly, that's the other thing as well. Is like reputations will follow, and you always in Sydney, especially in this industry, you're always 1 or 2 degrees of separation. It's ridiculous when you interview people. You're, oh, okay, so your ex-boss is someone I've known, or your ex-boss is, or your new boss is like, okay, cool, I can reach out to someone. Like even like when you look at the reference. Honestly, I don't really care about those references in CVs. You always find someone else that you know that will give you the best reference or not about a candidate. So like the people that put their reference at the back of their CVs, are great. Of course, it's people that actually really like them, but then you usually find always someone. So what I would say is don't fuck it up. Do a great job at making sure you're doing a great job. Like we never stop unless we are happy with it as well. And I said, we are happy, and therefore we also want the clients to be very happy about it. I think it's hard work. I guess it depends on what you are willing to do and how much time are you willing to give to a business. It's never an easy thing. Like launching a business is the hardest thing ever, and you are constantly thinking about it. There's not 1 minute, 1 day where I don't think about the business, which is awful. My wife and my daughter suffers from it because they can see that sometimes I'm here, but I'm not present because I'm just thinking about something else. And it's true. So I think having good support team as well, and when I say support team, it could be your family, it could be your friends, could be obviously, and even the support of other people that goes broader. And then your family and, like it could be, mentors. I don't necessarily, I have a mentor if you like, if it's my dad, like from a business point of view as well.
Was your dad in?
Yeah, he's always been in the industry as well. Yeah, he had like marketing agencies as well. Yes.
Okay.
He retired now. Kind of retired. He's a serial entrepreneur, so he's now back on. Yeah, he's got 2 business going as well. So yeah, and he's 70. Yeah, 70.
So do you think this, because you are a serial entrepreneur too, that's true. Do you think this came from seeing your father always developing something?
I think yes. I think most likely. Saying this, I've got a brother and sister. I don't think they've got the same. Again, it's like dependent, like from one kid to another. This, but also because, again, one thing I always realize as well is I'm not good at being managed. I've got so many ideas that I don't want to restrict my thinking because someone else is telling me what to do. I think if you've got ideas, if you've got the drive, the passion, and the hard work, it's like same for Morning Bondi, to be honest. It's like the consistency of saying, you know what, it's hard, fuck it, it's 5 a.m. Yes, I don't want to do it every single day, but I do it. Lately, don't look at Morning Bondi, I've not been as present as I used to, but it was a religious thing where I was like every morning, even when it was raining initially, when I first started, even when it was raining, I was taking photos just to add that dedication. And business is the same. If you don't have that dedication or like kind of that drive, and it needs to be kind of in you, by the way, it can't be, if someone's telling you what to do, then there's an issue in itself, I guess. But if you've got this, then I think you will flourish. And if you've got good ideas, or if you find a niche or something that is of interest for people and you know that there is a demand for it, I think you will flourish,
How do you manage your change of location? You used to live in Bondi and now you live in Maroubra. And of course, Morning Bondi is not in Maroubra. So how do you manage that?
Yeah, it's a great question. So yeah, moved to Maroubra because my daughter is at the French school.
Yes.
And yeah, we moved to Maroubra like just before December. It is only 20 minutes for the one that don't know, it's only 20 minutes. So it's not that far.
With no traffic.
With no traffic, exactly. Yeah. With no traffic, that's a very good point. But it's not that far, but I think sometimes far enough to deter you to go to Bondi.
Sure.
Manage, I think, is great in terms of it's way more quiet. So it's great, like in the morning when I go for my walk or like training or like whatever, like even swims. I kind of like the quietness of the place. However, for photos, I have to say, I don't feel like that same inspiration. Like Bondi, I was so inspired because there were so many people, so many crowds, so many different groups of people. In Maroubra, and I've done a few Fridays where it's a bit more busy and stuff like that, but it's very quiet, which is, I think, again, like locals love it for that.
Yes.
For photography, I found it a bit like,
yes.
not as inspiring.
Limited,
Yeah, limited. Yeah, so over the past few months, I put a bit the photography, but I will go back eventually to it, but I put the photography a bit on the side. But be in December and all that, when I was shooting, I would go like twice a week to Bondi and still getting my dose of people and my dose of Bondi. But I do like also the quietness of Marlborough. So very different and very different crowd.
Totally different. But I saw beautiful shots on your Instagram page in Maroubra, because I live near Maroubra too, and I used to live in Bondi too, so I feel you.
You can relate.
Yeah, exactly. But I saw a few shots that were absolutely unreal as well, and not a shadow inside. Like it's just like at least you have all the space to take the right shots.
Exactly. No, exactly. No, I think. Again, like I'm sure by staying here longer and by living here now, I'm sure I will start getting a bit more inspired. But right now, I have to say I don't have that same inspiration. But also because I was in Bondi for 14 years, so it's hard to kind of 15 years almost, 15 years of Bondi. And now it's just like almost discovering that new suburbs. But I still like it. I think it's just a very different vibe.
Yeah. So I was going to ask you, why are you passionate about what you do? And this was for the photography. Is it really because meeting these people that gave you like this knack? Yeah. And what about your marketing agency?
So, passionate about photography, yes. I think I'm passionate about meeting people. Even having this interview, I'm sure that's how it all came about. I think it's like meeting new people. I think that's in me. I like meeting people. That's how I'm very much an extrovert. And I love, that sounds so cliche, but I'm such a people person as well. I feel like really I'm growing better by meeting people, by understanding who they are, what they do. And then Morning Bondi has been such a great thing for that because, again, and you chat to so many different type of people as well. From the people who have been here for ages, they are probably they're actually true local Bondi people, a bit on the older end. Plus, then you've got the younger generations, the people like me that are tourists, and I'm not talking necessarily French, but I'm talking people who have been here. When I say tourists, I don't think I'm a tourist anymore, but people who have been here for a bit longer. And then you take photos of them, the next day they recognize you, they come and say, oh, I love the photos that you took of me, and then you start chatting, you get to learn and meet so many people, and I love that.
And there are so many beautiful people out there as well, and
it is. It's just ridiculously when you go Maroubra, Bondi, you're and that's what. Yeah, I know it's a very different vibe, very different crowd. Everyone wants to be an influence. Bondi, beautiful people. It's it feels like
I know.
Honestly, it's like a Disneyland. It's
I know.
Wow.
You go to Bondi, you leave Bondi, you are full of complex. You're like, oh my God, this. You go to Maroubra, you're like, I'm great, I'm hot, I'm fine.
It's a very different vibe. I agree.
But they're all beautiful people. So, what was the most significant turning point in your life?
To launch the business, or
to launch a business professionally, personally, or maybe something personally that helped you professionally, or vice versa.
Yeah. I would say, obviously, coming back here was definitely kind of a big step where, I had my own business back in France, and I had two business partners that are awesome, and I just chatted to them last week, actually. And it was one of those where that you are going to miss them, and you're going to miss something, but without necessarily knowing what's going to come next, I guess. But then that it's in you. You've got, okay, you know what? I've got that baby, I've got that business, but I know it's not for me, or it's not anymore for me. And then you're like, okay, cool. It's also was heartbreaking as well, to be honest, because you put so much effort and so much thing, and 2.5 years after, you're like, you know what, I'm going to walk away from that. All the hard work, to be honest. Like in business, it's like the first 2.5 years, 2 years. So you walk away from that to say it's going to be better, or at least I'd like this to be better, or I'd like this to be a bit more. So that was probably the biggest turning point. And then I think that most recently was just like launching Bread. It's like, again, it's doing the same thing. It's like you are paid by an employer, you've got all the security. I think the employer was quite happy with my performance. And then you're like, okay, cool, great. I'm going to literally stop being paid. I'm going to stop having that security and all the benefits that comes with like being employed and all that, to literally kind of start with my business partner, obviously Mary. And that's what also I think for me was very important, is finding that person to launch something and then start with no salary, nothing, and then believe in yourself that you are going to be able to cope with it, and you're going to hopefully get better outcome in the end.
Yes, fair, absolutely accurate and powerful. Who is the most influential person in your life, and how do they impact you? Your time to think about
for
it.
everyone listening, I can't think about anyone. Like, I think of my dad. Obviously, my dad was an inspiration. He's always been an inspiration because he's done so well in the marketing industry in France and globally as well. So definitely an inspiration. But I don't necessarily have one business kind of man or one thing that makes me, wow, this is that person, that inspiration. I read a lot of articles, or I watch a lot of videos, or I'm constantly on LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn, and I kind of follow the right people as well. You follow the right people, like people that are like kind of amazing in Asia or in the US, that are doing stuff in the social commerce space. And I follow all those people, and then I get inspired by people in other countries, or people that are in the social space that amazingly, doing amazingly well in other countries. And when I say other countries, it's just because I believe that like sometimes we're a bit behind here, including social commerce or including live stream shopping. I think if Bread is known for something, it's like venturing in that space. I don't think there's that many agencies here in Australia that can talk live stream shopping. That's my inspiration. I think it comes from so many different things. And realistically, also from watching Netflix. Watching Netflix, like documentaries. I'm just watching another one, which is not a documentary, Adolescence.
Oh my God, I heard about it. I'm scared.
It's incredible.
I'm scared to watch it.
I'm talking mainly from a storytelling and from a production. It's a one single shot that does this. And for me, I was literally chatting to this to the team this morning. I was like, okay, we need to start thinking about how we do from a production value. How can we do something different? Of course, we're not going to just do like another one single shot. It would be so hard to replicate anyway. But like, it's like, what can we do? Because you can learn from stuff, like even if it's like from other. It doesn't need to be in a textbook. It can be from Netflix. It can be from anywhere. Yeah.
Yes, is that true that they recorded one episode? It was the full episode in one shot? I read something about it. It's insane. Yeah.
They've done. I was literally reading an article this morning about it. The first episode took. So they were planning on doing no more than 10 takes of each episode.
Okay.
And the reality is, the first one was after the second takes they were happy. The second one was like kind of, it took them 13 takes. Because there were 370 people that were featured. So it's quite interesting, those things. So I get inspired by this as well.
Yes, okay, good, that's great. Okay, and last one, what's one piece of advice you can share with my listener when it comes to creating a business, feeling inspired, following your dreams?
I think it's just being, and it's again probably going to sound so cliche, but it's just being consistent. Honestly, and it comes from Morning Bondi or comes from like kind of Bread, is by consistently waking up or by consistently working hard or just trying to constantly push yourself and don't break any habits. It's going to take time. Success always takes time. And I say success. Morning Bondi, I guess, yes, it's quite successful in a way, like because of the size of the following and because of all those all those opportunities. Bread is definitely, I think, so far a good success. Hopefully it's going to stay like this as well, but it's just by hard work and consistency, and you eventually do it. If you lose, I guess, passion or traction, or I don't like passion after when it gets a bit too hard, or when after 2 or 3 months, I don't think you will ever get to something. I think it takes years, I would say. And that goes for, I'm talking social influencers. You're not becoming a social media influencer in 5 minutes either. A lot of people would have gone through like the hard work before breaking it. Yes, of course, you've got the odd ones, but most of the time it's like, just consistent hard work. So that's as basic as it sounds. I think that's the most important thing for me, is that without the hard work and the consistency, I don't think I would ever had the chance to be successful with Morning Bondi and achieve the success that we are having right now with Bread. And again, being surrounded by good people, my business partner, my family, my friends as well.
Perfect. Amaury, merci beaucoup.
Merci.
Merci.